Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my 1990 Mazda Miata project car. Today I just want to do a few small things on it, like changing the engine mounts and changing the shifter in the transmission, and just basically getting it ready to drive once all the body work's done. So the reason why I want to change the engine mounts on this thing in the first place is I put like a track style mount in there. It's like a poly mount, and they helped a little bit in terms of like the transmission movement, engine movement when like, you know, shifting between gears and stuff. But it's gone to the point where they are way too rattly and everything rattles, like the headlight buckets, the dashboard, all the interior trim, and it's just not very pleasant anymore. So I want to put the stock ones back in. Okay, so now I have to support the engine so it can be lifted off its mounts, and to do that we're just going to use a couple blocks and jack it up by the oil pan. So when you jack up the car, you're supposed to remove the cam angle sensor connector, so that way it doesn't hit the top of the firewall here and break. And then there's also a bolt behind this ignition coil bracket that you're supposed to undo, and this will lift out of the way too, or else you'll have clearancing issues. You can see right here and probably about right here are going to hit the bottom of this firewall, and you're going to end up breaking stuff and not having a good time. There we go. Now I'm going to unplug the cam angle sensor, grab a little pick, make my life easier. There we go. Fuck. So now there's two nuts on each side of the subframe here through the wheel well. I think they're 14s, I could be wrong, but we got to undo that, and then we can actually go and raise the engine up and undo the bolts that are connected to the actual engine block itself. I lied, looks like it's actually a 15. Alright, up goes the engine. Don't want to go too much. Probably good to start right about there. Okay, so these engine mount bolts appear to be a 14 on the block side, and there's 3 of them on each side. And if you couldn't tell already, this isn't really much of a like tutorial or a walkthrough. I'm kind of just doing it and bringing you guys along, so hopefully this is still enjoyable. Luckily, they put aftermarket headers on this car, so it's easy to kind of stick tools through it, because if it was the stock exhaust manifold, it would be a lot harder to get my hands through here. All right, and there goes the second bolt. So our mount should be fully loose now. I just got to wrestle it out of here. So there you go. As you can see, this is the aftermarket mount, obviously this green part. And if I remember correctly, yeah, as you can see, there's a few holes in here, these little squares. You're going to line up with these squares on this piece, and this piece is going to stay in here like that. And then that stud is going to go in place of this green spot right here, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done it in a while, but I'll figure it out. There we go. Like I said, I don't believe the new ones are directional, so slot that in. Put the nut back on this side. So it's kind of a good thing I like to hoard things, because the nuts that came with the aftermarket mounts actually did not fit the stock mounts, this stud right here. But again, it's a good thing I hoard things, because I have the nuts from the last time I did it, so that worked out perfect. Call that good and tight. Okay, so once I get it down the engine bay, I have to slide these two together through the subframe, install that nut, and she'll be installed. So let's get it on. Alright, let's see if I can finagle this mount down into place, past the steering rack and the steering arm. Jack it up and let it down ever so slightly just to line up the bolt holes, but after a little bit of trial and error, we got it. Let's get this coil pack back behind the block here. You got to finagle it a little bit. All right, I'm gonna snug them up, and I'll do the other side off camera because it's basically the same thing. I feel like you guys probably don't want to watch that. So the next thing I want to do to this car actually is the shifter bushings currently feel real bad in this new transmission that I put in. By new, I mean used off marketplace. And the old transmission I took out of this car had a good short throw shifter in it. So I do want to swap that over so I can have some nice crisp feeling shifts. And I guess I might as well fire it up just to see if there's a difference. I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but the engine definitely moves around more, which was expected because they were track mounts before. These are nice soft OEM mounts. But however, I can tell that a lot of stuff seems like it shakes a lot less, way less vibrations, is quieter, and that's what I wanted overall. So now let's get working on that transmission. So if I put it into gear, you can see how much play there is, and it feels sloppy. It doesn't feel good. So it appears there's like 3 8mm that hold it on right here. So hopefully that's all it is, but we'll see. They're actually 10mm. So hopefully this piece will work in the new transmission. I think it will. I mean, it's the same transmission at the end of the day, but hopefully I'm not missing any pieces. There we go. Looks like the whole shifter pops out just like that. It's that easy. So let's go install this short shifter into my Miata. So this time around, obviously we're going to have to remove the center console off of this car. So off comes the knob. And then we just got some screws on the side. And yes, my hands are completely filthy, but this interior will be getting completely torn apart and cleaned, so I don't really care at this moment. Only if new cars came apart this easy. Okay, now I can remove this insulator boot here. Boom. So now it's just these 3 bolts, just like the other transmission. I can already smell the gear oil once the seal broke. Looks like the old shift bushing stayed down in the trans, so let me just pull that out. Perfect. Okay, so I don't have a new one of these boots unfortunately, but that's a future issue. Now, I don't know if these are directional. Guess we're about to find out though. Okay. Then that's in already. I can already tell way less movement compared to before, and the throw so much shorter. That's perfect. So I'm just going to screw this right in and we should be all good. Now obviously I plan on getting a different shift boot and knob, but this is just temporary at the moment until I fix up this car completely. So let's see the difference now. Oh yeah, throw's way shorter. Look at that. I'm sure you guys remember what it looked like before. It looked like this probably before, but in gear. Nice and crisp. That's the way we want it now. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today. We got those nice OEM soft motor mounts in, and the engine doesn't vibrate the cabin at all anymore. And we also got that nice short throw shifter in, which feels amazing compared to the old one. So anyways guys, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.